just one day before the actual election. Republican Ed Gillespie closing the gap. He's now just 5 points behind Democrat Ralph Northam, but within the margin of error. I should take note, though, that as you break down this poll, 43% with Democrats and only 39% Republicans. Here to discuss is Fox News contributor Deneen Beverly, Jillian Melcher, Wall Street Journal editorial page writer, and Beverly Hallberg, a contributor at The Hill and president of District Media Group. Beverly, because you're in studio for the first time.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I want to start with you because you've got so many things going on here. They've interjected race as an issue, and apparently blacks are going to be galvanized after the Charlottesville thing. You had that Latino ad here recently, which was ugly and brutal, and it's just pure bare knuckles politics, but the implications are huge.
Yeah, I really think in many ways this has been a gift for Ed Gillespie because he is not that popular among conservatives in Virginia. So when you have an attack ad where it attacks not just him personally and his voting record, but is actually saying, hey, if you're in Virginia and you like the American flag and you have a "Don't Tread on Me" bumper sticker, or you have a license plate, we think you're going to go attack children. So I think this has been a gift for him because it hasn't been about his voting record. It's actually attacked the people in Virginia.
Do we have the Republican counteract that came out after that? Okay. All right. Well, when we get that, because the Republicans put out a brilliant ad after that, ladies, the implications, because Gillespie also not a conservative, and he had to change course. He was losing dramatically. And I think the fact that he's catching up speaks something to the Bannon wing of the party.
Sure. Well, he's picking up momentum for sure. And I totally agree with everything you said. Listen, the Democrats are very desperate right now. They have not won any special elections in 2017. So, of course, they're going to drop the race card. It's easy, it's convenient, and it whips up emotions. And they have a problem with getting black voters out to the polls, especially during midterm elections.
Here's the irony, of course. Northam has to also take a page from that same playbook, and now he's saying he's going to be against sanctuary cities, putting Democrats in a bind. Not all Democrats want to back him up. So to me, the Bannon wing of the Republican Party has already scored a victory even before they tally the votes tomorrow.
You know, I will tell you the most interesting conversation I've had with this was with a Middle Eastern cab driver. And he was saying that for him, I was expecting him to be very anti-Trump, and immigration came up, and he said, I'm leaning Republican because I am so concerned about gangs and immigration. I'm concerned about this gang that's hacking young girls apart. That is the number1 issue for me. And that was a very counterintuitive voter. I think we're seeing this playing out in the polls. Democratic contender out cashing him 2-1, and it's still within the margin of error. I mean, Real Clear Politics is putting it at 3%, which is even a lower margin of error. And I just think that he's been successful because he's been focused on the issues that voters care about.
Right, and one of the reasons Real Clear Politics has it closer is there are local polls that actually have Gillespie ahead right now, Beverly. And again, I think the overarching message coming from last year and it's persisting is that. And I think the Democrats have toned deaf to it, that Americans don't want to be called racist, don't want to be humiliated for what they believe, and would like the politicians to pay attention.
And I think it's interesting it's being done in a purple state, not a true blue state. We're talking about a state that can lean Republican. And even beyond that, I think it gets to a larger issue that Democrats have where they haven't been coming out with a message that's for anything. They struggled with this in the 2016 election. They've tried to get on track with some of the special elections, but they can't just be against things. They have to be for things. And I think it's going to be detrimental for them.
I mean, you would think that they would have learned that, though, after all of the losses, the governorships, the state legislatures, the House, the Senate during President Obama's term. It can't be about class warfare and identity politics.
No, you're absolutely right, and they're not even recognizing that, Charles. But Gillespie has picked up on President Trump's policies as well: jobs, the economy, cutting taxes, and unleashing our energy. Virginia's a coal state, so the Southwest coal miners, the blue-collar workers.
Right.
His message.
Real quick, Jillian, that gets back to the bifurcation. The north near Washington, D.C., very, very wealthy. But below there, there's a lot of folks who are struggling big time.
Everybody's going to be looking at this state for a lesson. I mean, if he wins the only southern state that Clinton won, that's going to be a game changer. I think the question is, do identity politics work here? Democrats will be taking a lesson.
All right, ladies, thank you all very much.
Thank
Great having you.